Does having children really make people happy? This is a very important question because people have children because they think that will make them happy. But do they end up happy? Why do people have children? What are the benefits of having children? Do people have children because they really want to have children, or it's because they don't want to be the only one without a child? I remember when I was growing up, they used to tell us that if an adult dies without a child, they're going to put a long stick inside their ass because they are such a disappointment. So we always thought that adults who don't have children are not normal. If you see an adult, you're like 10, and you see an adult, this person is in their 80s and they don't have a kid. We used to feel like that is not normal. We used to think that there's something wrong with them. Do people have children because of social pressure? Oh, it's something that they really want. Today, when I was at ShopRite, I saw a lady screaming at a child. A child wanted chocolate. No, she just wanted chocolate. This lady was screaming at her. Didn't I just buy you chocolate? Huh? Do you think money grows on trees? I just bought you chocolate. And you want another chocolate. Where do you think I get the money? Huh? Where do you think I get the money? And I felt sorry for the kid. I was like, damn, man. Why do we put ourselves through that? Have children, even if we know we don't even have enough money to be able to take care of our children. Even if we know we don't have enough time. Because raising a child takes so much of our time. If you're a woman, you're going to have to carry the child for 9 months. There'll be a lot of things that you will not be able to do. If you like having fun, traveling, going out with your friends, you can't do that anymore. After having the child, it's not like now you can go on and do the things that you used to do. No, you'll still have to take care of the child. The child is going to wake up crying at night. You won't be able to sleep sometimes because the child is crying non-stop and you don't know what the problem is. You have your own problems. Because, people go through a lot when they have children, man. People go through that. The fact that the baby daddy is no longer around. There's no money to take the kid to a hospital when the kid is sick. There's no money to buy yourself things that you need. If you are a student, it means all of that have to stop because you must focus all your energy on your child. Why do we put ourselves through that? What do we really benefit in the end? Is it because we're afraid to die alone? Like, who's gonna take care of me when I'm older? There'll be a lot of people will be able to take care of you when you're older. I mean, children is a scam. It takes so much of our time. You know how much money your parents had to spend on you? Money that they could have spent on themselves? And what was it all for? It's not like if you have a child, you're gonna own the child. The child is gonna have their own desires. The child might end up not even wanting to talk to you when they're older. When they end up not wanting to take care of you. You find that they end up talking bad about you. You suffered a lot when you were raising them, but they end up talking bad about you. Like it's a risk, but I'm not sure if the reward that people get is really worth it. I think people go through a lot when they raise children, and the payback isn't really worth it. I think the reason why we're having children is because we're programmed to have children. But it's really a scam. Like, there's so much that you need to do when you're raising your kid. There's so much that you need to do. You'll be worried 24/7. When your kid is at school, you'll be worried. Is my kid performing well? Is my kid not getting bullied? Is my kid happy? Is my kid safe? When your kid visits their grandmother and their uncles that day, like, is my kid safe? You don't know how, because there's been so many cases of, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not really sure if your kid is safe, so you're always worried. Is my kid safe? Is my kid not hungry? Will my kid make it? And sometimes you look at your kid and like, will my kid make it in life? Will my kid end up being happy? Will my kid have the life that they want? You know what I'm saying? I think we put ourselves through things without thinking about the consequences. That is why some people end up regretting having children. It's because they never had to sit down and ask themselves, what are the real consequences of having children. Yes, it's possible that things go well. We've seen people have children and their children end up being successful and end up loving them, and we've seen that, but it's rare. I mean, we don't even know what this world is, and how things happen, really. It's like things just happen. Why some people are lucky, why some people seem like the world is against them. We don't know. There are a lot of things that are going on that we don't understand. Some people believe in witchcraft. Like, there are some people who are actually able to, perform magic, cast spells, all of that. You don't know how to do any of that, and you're having a child. You don't know how to protect yourself from any of that, if it's all real. The world is cruel. You don't know how to protect your child from this world. It's a lot of work, man. And if you end up losing your child, because we know that sometimes that does happen, you find that you don't recover. Like, you suffer. Like, we put ourselves through unnecessary suffering. Like, life could be so much easier if a person just decided, well, I'm just not gonna have kids. Like, why should I be having kids? I don't really have that much money. I'm not Elon Musk. You know what I'm saying? Why should I not just decide to chow my money, have fun if I can have fun, travel if I can afford to travel. You know what I'm saying? Babies are expensive. Most children ain't even raised right because they're not even being given enough because their parents don't have enough. Why do we put ourselves through that? Maybe if you really have a lot of money, it will make sense. because you'll still be able to do the things that you want to do. If you have a nanny, you will still be able to do a lot of things that you want to do. If your child is sick, you'll be able to afford the hospital bills. You'll be able to afford their tuition fees. Like, you won't find yourself stressing at night. In South Africa, because the unemployment rate is very high, a lot of women, and it's sad, man, a lot of women do actually sell their bodies. They just don't do it like real pros. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just don't. But there are women who, when they find themselves in a situation where they're truly desperate, their child needs something that they can't afford at the time, to be like, yo, let me go online and find someone who's gonna pay for this, and I'm gonna give them sites and all. Like, it's something that is very common in our country. On Facebook, there are a lot of women who want money from guys in exchange for sexual favors. I'll be like, why do we put ourselves through all of that? What is it for? Are we obligated to have children? Why can't we choose freedom? Like, you know what, man, I just want to be free. I just want to do what I want, when I want. I want to be where I want to be, when I want to be there. I want to sleep when I want to sleep. I don't want to wake up at 2 a.m. because my kid is crying nonstop. I don't want to find myself waiting in a hospital because my kid is in a hospital and I don't know what the doctor is going to tell me. I don't want to put myself through that. I don't want to put myself through a situation where I will have to fight for my kid, have to defend, because we live in a dangerous world. I don't want to put myself through that. I don't want to be called at school because my child got into a fight. I don't want to be called at school because my child is failing. I don't want to be called at school because there's a school meeting. Ever been into a school meeting? Take hours, bro. It takes hours. You're there having to listen to other parents talking and all that. Some people just like talking. If you've ever been to a school meeting, like, there are some people that just want to talk. You find out the meeting was supposed to last for an hour, it ended up lasting for 3 hours, and you're there, because you have to support your kid. I want to put myself through that. Having a child comes with a lot of responsibilities. It's not like it's all sunshine and rainbows, you know what I'm saying? Like, your life is going to be fun after you had. Why do we put ourselves through that? It seems to me that we're not wired to do things that truly benefit us, man, because having children doesn't really benefit us. It's something that we've never truly thought about as people. It's something that we do without thinking. And that is why I keep on telling people that we're programmed to be what we are. We might think that we're original, we are independent, we are free, we are sovereign, autonomous, but not really. Like, we are being controlled. We're being controlled by forces that we don't see. We're programmed to have children. Ever wondered why you don't feel like taking care of someone else's kid? Like, for an example, if you found a kid in the street and the kid doesn't have food, I mean, if you have a good heart, you might help the kid, you might buy them bread, but you won't really be willing to go, like to take care of the kid. Like, you know what, let me take you home. I'm always gonna, like, everything that you need. You know what I'm saying? Like, you prefer to have your own child, and you prefer, giving your own child the world. Yes, there are some people who are willing to adopt, which is a beautiful thing, and which is actually the best thing that I think people should be doing right now. It's adopting. Because even though we tell ourselves that when we have kids, we're actually ensuring the survival of our bloodline. Really, man, it's not like you created your own bloodline or anything like that. We are all, like, it doesn't really mean much. You know what I'm saying? We're all biological beings. We all bleed. It's the same thing. My blood is your blood. You get what I'm saying? It's nothing special about my blood or my DNA. There's nothing really special about that. So really, the best thing is to adopt. It's to find children who need help, who need a home, and actually adopt them if they want to be adopted. That would be a good thing. Because you will be helping someone, right? Here's the thing that we don't even talk about. When you have a child, you are actually bringing someone into existence who've never told you that they want to exist, right? They never told you that they want to be in this room. So it's you who decide without their consent that you're gonna bring them here. But at least if you're adopting, you're already adopting someone who's here. If that child ends up not wanting you as a parent, they can be taken back to their foster home, I guess. And if they like you, they'll probably be able to say, "Yo, I do like these people as my parents, and yeah, I would like to be adopted by them," which is a beautiful thing. It all makes sense because if you are taking care of a kid that doesn't have a home, you're actually helping someone. But when you have a child, it's not like you're helping that child. It's not like that child needed you to have them. It's not like that child was screaming wherever they are, that they want to be brought here. They need your help. No. It's something that you do because you want to do it, not because you want to save someone. So at least when you adopt, you're like, you know what? I want to give someone a better life. I want to save them. I want them to know what it's like to be raised by people who care about. You know what I'm saying? That's beautiful. But really, man, people are having children left and right, and they don't seem happy. You ask people in their 40s and 50s if it really was worth it, to be like if there was a button that they could press and go back in time, they would not make the same decisions that they've made. I mean, if there was a button that I could press, I'll go back to 2020, 2015, 2010, I still will not have children, right? Even if I was 70 and I could go back in time, I wouldn't think, hey, I want to have children. And I think it's better to regret not having children than to regret having children. I think it's better to regret not causing something to happen than causing something to happen. If you do something that actually affects you in a negative way, like, I think that's worse than if you didn't do something and then in the end you're like, yo, I should have done it. So um even if I get older, to be like, maybe I should have had a child, I don't think my regret will be as painful as the regret of someone who is having like 6 children and who's like, dude, I wish I never had children. This life is not what we think or what we hope it is, it's difficult and it can get really hard. We want life to be easy. We want life to be all sunshines and rainbow, all sunshine and rainbows. We want this to be to want life to have a happy ending, even if it's going to be difficult. We want life to make sense, but it's not like that. It's very unpredictable, and things that we don't want to see happen like all the time. We don't really control this. Having a child at this point is like, will be like letting a lion play with your child, because the world is unpredictable. Lion is unpredictable. You don't know if the lion is gonna, like, you know remember that it's a lion, and you know what I'm saying. So it's the same with this world. You don't know what's gonna happen to your child, and things happen to children all the time in this world. Children are very vulnerable. I think this room gets the energy that it needs more from children than from adults. Because children suffer a lot, and we don't really understand their suffering. Because what's beautiful is that children are still strong because they've never experienced a lot of things, but they suffer a lot. When you hit the age of 30, you might not be suffering the way you were suffering when you were 15, but now you're broken. Now you're suffering because of what happened in the past, because you think about the past and you're like, what the hell, I can't believe I went through that. Now you have regret. You've lost a lot of people. Like you've seen a lot to have peace, to have a peace of mind. I remember I was watching movie recap. I just don't know the name of the movie, but this kid, when he was like maybe 10, he was followed by his neighbor's kid. His neighbor's kid was like maybe 7. He was heartbroken because he saw the girl that he liked with another guy. So when that kid, the kid followed him to the woods. So when he realized that the kid was following him, he got angry and he was like, "Go back!" And he was holding a stick. So he's like, "Go back!" And he hit that kid with the stick, and the kid died. And he had to bury all the evidence, but he was living. He didn't have a peace of mind. He was living in regret. He was thinking about that all the time. So when we get older, we think about how we've experienced life. There are a lot of things that have hurt us in the past that are still hurting us today. There are a lot of regrets that we have. You know what I'm saying? But children do go through a lot in this realm. So not only are we making our lives more difficult, we are also bringing people into this world. What you must realize that if you have a kid, obviously your life is gonna be more difficult than it is. If I had a kid this year, that would mean that my life would be more difficult than it is. Now when I, get some money, I'll have to think about my child. My child gotta eat. My child gotta have a future. I must invest. 5 years from now, my child is gonna go to preschool. Who's gonna pay for that? I gotta invest. I gotta invest some money. Soon it's going to be December. My child gotta wear something new. In South Africa, a lot of women now, they are looking for boyfriends now. Not boyfriends that they love, just boyfriends who's gonna buy their children stuff for Christmas, New Year. That's how bad things are. So the question is, why do we put ourselves through that? Is there really something that we can benefit in the end? What are the chances that our children are going to think of us when they're older? What are the chances that our children are going to be successful and be happy? What are the chances that our children are going to be good? Your child is not going to end up in jail. I do believe that every parent, when they have a child, they're not thinking, hey, my child is going to end up in jail. But there are a lot of people who are in jail. A lot of people who are in jail who have done horrible crimes that shocked everyone. You're like, dang, how did that? There's this guy who killed two girls. He's 38. The girls that he killed, the other one was 20, the other one was 21. It's alleged that he bought them drinks for 10K. 10K is like, it should be somewhere around $500. So he bought drinks for $500, expecting that, well, he'll get something in return. But after spending all that money, the girls was like, yo, we're going home. He's like, no, So what happened is that he ended up shooting, both of these girls, and they died. Today was his first day on trial. I'm pretty sure his parents weren't thinking that he was going to do something like that. I'm sure those girls' parents didn't think, hey, that will happen to them. Why do we put ourselves through that? Why not make our lives easy? Especially if we don't have a lot of money. Shouldn't I look at my situation and be like, well, I'm broke, man. At least if I lose everything that I have, I won't have someone suffering because of me, because they need me and I have nothing. Because that's what leads to crime, Like if you're broke and there's no child that's depends on you, you sometimes you just be like, I'm broke, man. Let me just accept that I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? And if something comes, then it's fine. But for now, I'll just accept that I'm broke. But can you imagine if you have a daughter, bro? You love your daughter. You have this beautiful daughter, and you love your daughter, and you want them to make it in life, but you've just lost your job. If some guys come to you and say, yo, man, we're planning a heist, or we want to rob people, can we do this together? Even if you say no, when you are alone in your room thinking, and you listen to your kid talking about the things they want, you'll be like, maybe that's not such a bad idea. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't have someone like who depends on you, be like, why should I do that? I'm not desperate. All I gotta think of is me. I might not have food right now, but yeah, maybe I will, be able to hustle and make some money and be able to eat. But if you have a child, you gotta think, and you know that they will need a lot. It's not like your child is just gonna need to eat. There's gonna be a lot of things that they need, and you won't want to see your child unhappy. You want your child to be happy. So if you can't afford what your child wants, it destroys you. If your child goes to school without money to buy food, that's gonna affect you. So you gotta work hard. And society will be like, and yes, people should clap hands for you. But all of that could have been avoided. Maybe we should clap hands for people who are not having children. Also, we'll be like, yeah, you don't have a child? Actually, that's a good decision looking at how things work in this world, I mean, things are really difficult right now, and we're not really sure if things are going to get better. It seems like those who are in power don't really care about a lot of us. They care about gaining more power, and I don't think that's going to change. I don't think we're gonna find ourselves being cared for by people who are in power. Be like, you know what? Let's do what we're supposed to be doing. Let's help all these people who need our help. I don't think it's gonna be like that. I think it's just gonna become worse and worse. Like it's gonna become much easier for those who are in power to control us, and it's gonna become more difficult for us to make real change. You know, like this system makes it easy for those who are already rich to get richer. If you are rich and you ask for a loan, you're getting it. But if you are poor and you ask for a loan, but this bro, this guy wants 100K, they won't even laugh. Like, but it is earning like 1,000 a month. How is it gonna? How is it gonna repay? How is it gonna repay? Because it's gonna come like there's gonna be interest. Life is not easy, man. Life is too difficult for people to have kids without thinking. It's too difficult for people to be having children without thinking. Freedom is beautiful. Freedom is actually what will make us happy. A lot of things that we think are going to make us happy, these things ain't really gonna make us happy. They will put us in a trap. That's why I was telling you that having children is actually a scam. Parenthood is a scam. We don't realize that it was actually a trap. Chances are, if you have children, they're gonna end up making the same mistakes that you've made. You're gonna end up dealing with the same problems that you've had to deal with in this world. Deal with the kind of emptiness that you've had to deal with, loneliness that you've had to deal with. And even if they do become successful, they will still have problems that they're going to deal with. Because we're not in control in this room. Not having children is a flex, man. To be able to control your biological ages, you're not a slave to your biological ages. Like, yeah, I would like to have a mini me. It would be beautiful for me. It would be beautiful for me, like if I had a mini me. But I don't know. This world is just too messed up for me, man. I I don't think my child will be as happy as I want them to be. I don't know how I would feel if my child was sad. I don't want to see my child sad. But this world doesn't offer much. It seems like this world wants to take from us than to offer us things. Like it wants something from us, but it doesn't pay us enough for what it's taking from us. Whatever this world needed from us, it's not able to offer us enough for what it's taking. I'm a bit thirsty, but water is fine, so it's fine. We pay too much price for too little. We pay a price for something that we should get for free, really. Why do we put ourselves through that? Why should we put our children through that? Why do we purposefully make our lives more difficult than they should be? I do have a feeling that if I had a child, my life would be very difficult. Now there's baby mama drama. This matrix is always going to be using anything to torture you. Maybe you want to see your kid, but your baby mama is like, nope. I know people who are not allowed to see their kids, and they want to see their kids, and they want to do what they can for their kids, but the parent be like, no. The parent of the grandparents of the child be like, no, we're the ones who taking care of this child. This is our child now. And that child grows up hating you, calling you a deadbeat. These are the things that happen in this realm that we live in. The problem is that we don't see when we're being scammed. Usually, man, when you are doing things because you are being controlled by your emotions, your feelings, your primal instincts, there isn't much that's going to come out of that decision that you will have made. You're probably going to have to deal with some BS because you were being controlled by your primal instincts, your feelings. Your feelings are only there for you to benefit the matrix than to benefit yourself. Your primal instincts, they're there to benefit the matrix. So if you're controlled by your primal instincts, like, yo, let me have as many children, the matrix is going to benefit. Now you have a lot of children that depend on you. You got to feed them. Otherwise, they're going to hate you. I can imagine what it would be like to be hated by my child. It's your child. Your child is looking at you and like, my dad. My dad is such a loser. My dad, he'll never come on. Like he could never actually make it here. My dad, I don't even want to talk to him. But his mother is saying a lot of things that are not even true about you, and you lose your kid. Kid grows up never ever wanting to see you or talk to you. Children don't care. If a child grew up without you, chances of them really wanting to meet you and establish a good relationship are few. Even if they do decide to meet you and you get to know each other, chances of them wanting to establish a real bond with you are few. Especially if they're doing well in life. But like, I didn't need you. Or when I needed you, you were not there. Now that I don't need you, you're here. We need to be honest about these things. These are some of the conversations that we need to have with people who are still young. There are people who have children who regret having children. They'll be like, yo, I agree with what you're saying, but now it's too late, Benedict. Now it's too late. And it is for some people. Because once you have a child, you have a child. There's nothing you gonna do? Like, you have a child, you brought the child into this world. Now you must take care of the child, right? We live in a pro-natalist society, a society that doesn't question the ethics of having children, society that doesn't question the consequences of having children. Society that does not consider the cost. Everyone is encouraged to have children. If you have a child, people are going to praise you. Congratulations. If you post a picture of your baby, congratulations, your baby is cute. No one is going to celebrate you not having children. Like, yo, you don't have a child. Look, man, this is impressive actually, because that shows that you think about the reality of this world, and you're asking yourself a lot of questions. So it makes sense. It makes sense that you decided not to have a child. No one is gonna like celebrate the person who does not have a child. Person who does not have a child will be judged. People are gonna be like, is he okay? Is he okay? She must be lonely. Don't think you're lonely because you don't have a child. It's crazy how I'm always drinking water. We suffer a lot in this world, man, because we are controlled by our primal instincts, by our feelings, by our emotions. We don't think. I think being controlled by your emotions is a weakness. There's a reason why a lot of women, because women, when it comes to dating, they have more options than men. Like, that's the truth. Even though men are few in this world, women have more options than men. But when people have more options, they tend to make the wrong choices because they don't like they are actually gonna be controlled by their feelings. Right? But if you have a lot of options, you're most likely going to pick whatever you pick based on your feelings. You're gonna be like, I'm gonna pick what's gonna make me happy. This is what's gonna make me happy. This might make me happy, but not. I won't be that happy with this. I'll be, you know what I'm saying? Because you have a lot of options. You don't think, hey, this guy, yes, he might make me happy, but look at how he live life. He have 5 different baby mamas. He's always out. When I'm with him, he's receiving calls from different women. Sometimes he doesn't talk to me for like 3 days. He only calls me when he needs me. But I love him. Sometimes he borrows my car, asks for money for petrol. When he comes back, sometimes I see condom inside the car and I say nothing about it. I love him. Even if I say something about it, I know that, well, I love him. Right? Emotions. But if you're thinking, you'll be like, you know what, man? This person doesn't treat me the way that I deserve to be treated. I don't like how this person is treating me. I don't enjoy how this person is treating me. I respect myself a lot, and I do think that this person thinks I'm an idiot. So let me not entertain them anymore. regardless of how I feel about them. And what's gonna happen is that you will stop. You will actually lose feelings for them. If you actually respect yourself enough, you lose feelings for people who are not, who don't care about you. Like, can you imagine, man? There's a person you can see, you can tell by their actions they don't really care about you, but you find yourself loving them more. It's weird. Like you're letting your feelings control you. I mean, it used to be like that when I was growing up. When you're dating this girl, you can tell that she doesn't love you. There's a girl that actually loves you, and you don't love that girl. It's stupid. But as you get older, you're choosing women who genuinely care about you. Like, yeah, this one actually does care about me. And you end up not loving the girls that don't care about you. It means that you now respect yourself. So if you can see that if you have children, they are definitely going to suffer, you are definitely going to suffer, is it really a good decision? That's because you believe in a religion that says you must be fruitful and multiply. You're trying to multiply suffering. Now people have to suffer because you didn't look at your situation. It's beautiful being free, man. I'm telling you. When you have problems, these are your problems. These problems don't really affect other people. See, when you have children, when you have a problem, they also have a problem. There are things you can't do when you have children. There are things that you might actually want to do, and you'll be like, I'm not gonna do these things because these things are risky. These things might affect my child in a bad way. And you get older, end up hating your children. Like it's your fault. I'm trying to think of a movie where the guy was blaming his kid. Like it's actually like his kid's fault that he didn't succeed in life. Just I don't remember. I think it was a clip. I think it was it, it was from an episode of some Family Guy, if I'm not mistaken. This guy hates his son because he didn't achieve what he wanted to achieve because he had to take care of his son, as if it's his son's fault that he was born. That's how twisted we can be as humans. Very intellectually dishonest. We refuse to take accountability. "80 seconds of pleasure leading to a whole human being born that you're gonna have to take care of for many years." It's all a scam, man. Sometimes it's us who can save ourselves. It's not our president, the politicians, the people who are the billionaires of this world, those who are making this. It's us. Let's look at our situation, see what decisions are better to make, and make these decisions. There's no point in making our lives much more complicated than they are. Life is already complicated. Like, life is complicated by default, right? Existence is complicated. But I decided, yeah, I'm gonna make it more complicated by bringing someone else who's gonna need me. Because, well, who's your child gonna need? It's you. You're not gonna like it if you see your child daily, not having the clothes that, or not having clothes, you know. When we're growing up, sometimes we'll be like wearing torn out. Like, you can tell that your clothes are torn. You know, everyone can tell, and you don't have shoes. That was very common. Like, it's not beautiful. It's a scam, man. We just don't think enough about things as humans, and that's the problem. Thank you all guys for watching this video until the end. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Let us keep on growing. Thank you all.